Yo, Mr. Bobby Lashley came back. Oh, my bad, my bad. Or should I say, the Hurt Business. Wait. No. I was like, take three. I was like, business is back. No, we're back at business. Whatever, one of them movies. Anyway, Bobby Lashley came back, and I was like, look, look, I need to say I'm back with some AEW because it's been a while, been a minute. I really haven't been here for none of this stuff. Basically, I want to say it's probably since like Swerve winning the championship for a while. I kept up with it. I just ain't been like able to like to watch it, review it, that kind of thing. And but with this, and then with the Mox whole I've heard people joke like it's like a mock world order type of thing, and I was like, oh, I gotta come back and check this out, and I'm like, okay, this be able to keep me tied in. I was like, Mox and whatever he's doing with his group, where they just over here dismantling people, I am here for. Uh, the Hurt Business with Swerve and all them, I am here for. Um, yeah, no, no, I watched all of Dynamite. I was like backstage segments, a little funky for me or whatever like that, just because I don't know. I don't know. I was like, it just didn't fit. But I was like, I'm not. I was like, what I'm gonna talk about stuff I like. Now I will say one. I was like, I do like Orange Cassidy being serious. I was like, don't get me wrong. I also like about the cool dude. I do like that, but I like that. Cause I was like the thing with me, especially cause I was like, look, I'm kind of a funny person or a non-serious person, all that other type of stuff. But just because I am, people think you're not serious. So I can sort of understand where Orange Cassidy comes from, where he's just like so cool, he likes to make jokes, all this other stuff that people just like whatever. That is like, yo, sometimes when you gotta be serious, you gotta be serious, and sometimes that actually has more resonance than other people being serious because it's like, oh, you all serious all the time. I was like, I'm never going to worry about that. So I like Orange Cassidy coming out, being serious, being like, the music, chance, cut that out. Basically, Mox, I'm coming after you for what you did to my buddy, my pal, not Matthews, but you get what I'm saying. Uh, but segue, I was like going to the Buddy Matthew Adam Cole thing, Adam Cole coming back, whatever. And match start off slow, which if you watch the whole match, you understand why. Basically, it's like you come back, you see how the ankle is. I was like, when you coming off injuries or being hurt or having a traumatic experience or whatever, things like that, a phobia, whatever, there's things in life that sort of scares you. That it kind of changes who you might be, for a minute or whatever, or at a time. And that was pretty much what this was. Buddy Matthew was just like, hey, I don't need you to stop being a bitch and fight me. And Adam Cole took that to heart because if there's any way to basically get a man fight, it's that. And then I was like, then after that, they started picking it up or whatever like that with kicks and stuff like that. I was like, I didn't think that Cole would necessarily lose, but I thought they might do it to do one of them things where it's like to get him in the right mind frame. But I was like, they sort of did that in this match, and he's already ready to go apparently. Yeah, I was like, I also want to say that some of the other matches, I was like, I did really like Kamille and Kris Statlander match. I was like even though they're really big physical people, they move so fluid and whatnot in the ring that I really enjoyed that all their hard hitting stuff was also really fast paced because I did feel like a lot of matches tonight were really slow and methodical and stuff like that. And some of them, like I said, it worked. It took me a minute, but the Adam Cole thing, it did make sense. The Prime Party thing, I was like, I'll get to that in a minute. And of course with the Bobby Swerve thing, but they were telling the story in the ring, it's a little different. But yeah, I like the way that their match was. I was like, once again, I was like, with this one, I was like, I didn't know who would win in this situation. I'm fairly new to know who Kamille is or whatever like that. Whereas like I know Statlander and Miss CEO herself, Monet. But yeah, no, I was like, I like this match. Like I said, I'm not talking about the backstage stuff or nothing like that. Segments or whatever, because I was like, they did a lot of talking there, and most of the time it was like, it was okay. Um, but I was like, this whole then Mox comes out with the whole, with his whole group, and I was like, this is the type of stuff I like, where I'm just like, it's very unhinged. It's not all there, like, he's not all there, but it makes sense at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's one of them. That's one of them people that's like, if you not on board, that dude crazy scares the hell out of you. Like if you on board with him, then you just going with the flow. It don't matter. He can do whatever he want to, and you like, yeah, that's right. Let's get him. I was like, everybody got like a crazy friend or a crazy group of friends that's like, you just like, but when you the same one or you the sober one in the group, it doesn't really, you feel out of place. You feel like, I don't know, guys, we shouldn't be doing this. And they're just like, oh, come on now. And you just like, and I felt like that's how it was, where they basically was like, they about to just do this to Willa Yuta. And I was like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm not in AEW square circle. I ain't got to worry about this threat. I was here for it. At the same time, he had nothing but terror on his face the whole time, or whatever like that. But all it was just a ruse, just to get somebody out here, Orange Cassidy and stuff like that. And then once that happened, they basically smacked his ass, be like, "Wake up, like, come on," or whatever. And he's like, "All right, boss." And he went to work. Then everybody from the locker room come out and stuff like that. Darby comes from the Raptors, and I'm not gonna lie. Part of me laughed at it, and also was like, what the hell is going on? It is a pinata. I know it's Halloween, but it's whoever was coming down. I thought something malfunctioned, where it was just like, oh snap, that should have been for like a Halloween fight or something for nothing. I didn't know what it was, but it was Darby apparently, or whatnot. And I was really scared, not for him falling, but really because as he's fighting, the cable just stayed on him, and he was fighting Claudio, and I was like, somebody's going to end up getting it. Like, usually one of the dudes had to go in there and try to untangle it, just because it's like, I seen it like right here, I was like, oh Lord, I was like, we're going to end up having a situation on here. But it didn't. They got cleared out for Private Party and the Young Bucks to come through, and I was like, fun match. I was like, this is sort of where I was like, to me, I was like, they're quick, they're flippy, they're fast people, but it's like, it wasn't smooth to me like that, in that way. And I was like, and the thing is, I've seen some of their matches before, to where I was like, it didn't just look crisp or whatever like that. But even, I was like, the story beat of itself, it really did work, because I was like, I really was like, at the beginning of it, I was like, okay, they're gonna win these titles. Then I was like, no, they're not gonna win these titles. They're gonna have to break up. Then I was like, oh man, they're gonna really have to break up. And then I was like, well, what are they gonna do with them when they break up? And then I was like, we'll worry about that later. I was like, no, they're gonna win. No, they're gonna lose. And hey, they end up pulling out the win. I was like, look, it's not really for me of, he was taking all that beating, and it wasn't the fact that he was adrenaline rush of breaking up the pin, kind of not breaking up the pin, but kicking out. That's not the problem with me. I was like, that's fine. What I don't like is, after all that they did, where they did where Young Bucks did the V trigger, the one winged, I forget what it is, Falcon or Arrow. I'm sorry, been a minute. I was like, where they did Private Party thing of Gin and Juice, where they did their thing of the double, the double leg kicks. I was like, they were doing so many tag team moves, and they were doing so much of their super moves, and he kicking out of them. Fine, I'm cool with that. I was like, my thing is always where just like, okay, then how? But while on the other end, it just took one Gin and Juice for them to win. I was like, come on, man. I was like, and I'm not saying that they needed to go through the same amount of stuff. I would have rather it. I like it, to me. I was like, when it's that kind of built up, I was like, I like that it's like either something surprising, where it's like one of them shock type of like things where the dude didn't see it and he gets you, or it's one of them situations where it's like you do that move, then I was like, y'all fight over here or something like that, and then you do, because I was like, AEW don't wrestle the same way, so I was like, they can do the Gin and Juice move, a different move, and then be like, we're gonna do Gin and Juice again or whatever like that, and then in the match, I was like, and I would have been fine with it. But hey, that just me nitpicking. But I was like, but the whole story in itself that they were doing in the ring, and the beast from him getting busted in the head with the ring bell, I was like, I was like getting Tombstone outside. I was like, I was all down within the story it was telling. So that from that standpoint, it was good. Um, but to the main event, I was like Shelton Benjamin. I was like, first of all, these are big ass dudes, and the reason I say that is because Swerve is 232 or something like that. I know he's 230. Shelton Benjamin's ass is 260, and I was like, how big is this guy in person? That's crazy. I was like, just the fact that I was like, I can't. I was like, look, I'm not about to go look up some. I was like, but they look like they around like 6 feet, 6'2", something like that. But I was like, they don't carry it like they're that big. You get what I'm saying? Like Buddy Matthews. I was like, he looks like he's that big. Granted, he's shorter than him, but he looks like he's that big. You know, when you see him against Adam Cole, you're like, that's a big difference. But I was like, seeing Shelton and Swerve, it's like, yo, that's 30-pound difference. And they don't look huge. And maybe that's because they was against each other. But I was like, it does. But it's also like, how big must they be for it to not look like that on TV? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I was like, but I thought I did like the contrast in styles because I was like, being like, since Shelton Benjamin a wrestler guy, I was like, all his grappling and stuff like that works with Swerve's aggressiveness of him just being like fast and, you know, using kicks and stuff like that. You know, I was like, I'm surprised there was an actual winner here. To be honest, I thought it was going to be. I didn't think. I thought they was trying to save both of them because Swerve's not going to lose because you need him for what this feud is going to be. But I thought Shelton Benjamin being only like 2 matches in that they would do something to where, you know, like Swerve. I was like, Swerve basically wins by DQ. I thought it was gonna be something like that, and then like he gets the upper hand, and then that's when Bobby shows up or something like that. That's why I thought it was gonna go. But I'm fine with it because I was like, once we got Bobby Lashley, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm here for this, and I'm gonna tell y'all now that after leaving WWE, that you know there's gonna have to be on the horizon. To me, I was like, to the full extent of what they're gonna do. Like I said, they still gonna. I think they're gonna add people to the group. Of course, it's gonna be interesting to see who it is. I don't think it's gonna be Swerve, but it's gonna be interesting to see who other people is. I know they offered Leo Rush, and Leo Rush used to be in the group or whatever. But are we gonna get a Hurt Business and Mox's group at some point? Like right now, you got 4. I was like, you got Mox, Pac, Claudio, Willa Yuta. You got 3 on the other side. At some point, they're going to add another person. So I was like, we're going to have to get the crossover because that was one of their biggest reasons for dipping is because they didn't get to do any of the segments also against the Bloodline either. So you can't tell me now that the elites and everything that they're doing seem to be like dialing down because of Mox and stuff that you're not going to tell me that they're not going to cross at some point. And I will be here for that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's just me and my excitement for AEW or whatnot. Let me know what you're excited about. I was like, I'm just gonna keep this really short and sweet. Coming back to review AEW. Yeah. I'm really thinking about the whole Lashley and Mox thing because I think that could be really good. I was like, yeah. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Until then, peace. I'm out.